Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. In partnership with Mind Super App and beyond.
Good evening and welcome. To support a person accused of espionage against India, and that too on foreign soil, is unacceptable under any stretch of the imagination. I can't believe any sane person can do that, but this is exactly what Rahul Gandhi has done in Washington. He has supported an alleged spy. Can you believe it? And I say tonight, nobody has any freedom to spy. Hashtag no freedom to spy. Last week, the CBI took two persons into custody. One, a former Navy officer. The second, a so-called freelance journalist called Vivek Raghuvanshi, and the allegation espionage against India. They have been charged under the Official Secrets Act. The charge is that these two were collecting information on sensitive DRDO projects and sharing this information allegedly with intelligence agencies of other countries. In other words, according to the CBI, there's a prima facie case of sharing India's defense secrets with foreign intelligence agencies, foreign spies. Which is why I am beyond appalled that Rahul Gandhi in Washington has attacked the Indian government on American soil for catching the alleged spy. In other words, he has supported the spy. And that he has called the act of catching alleged spies an attack on the freedom of the press. If spying against India is going to be defended like this on American soil, then I leave it to you to judge, ladies and gentlemen, what ability or competence Rahul Gandhi has to comment on serious issues. This is, as the cliches goes, the absolute limit. And we need to speak up against it. That's debate number 1 tonight, viewers. How can you, on American soil, support a person accused of espionage against your own country? Debate number 2 tonight. The wrestlers' protest is over. Thank God for that. Can the politics also end? Can we say thank God for ending the politics? Will that happen? Debate number 3 tonight. Was it sabotage? The terrible, terrible tragedy in Balasore, was it sabotage? Is there a sabotage angle there we should be looking at? And here are the headlines this Monday evening on the debate tonight.
Vivek Raghuvanshi was arrested several weeks ago. Can be accused in such a cavalier manner?
No, I think the fact that there is a weakening of press freedoms, this is not hidden. I mean, everybody knows it.
He demeaned India, demeaned Hindu traditions. Now he's openly backing a spy accused on foreign soil, giving it a fresh press freedom spin.
भारत के बाहर जाके on विदेशी soil जाके और बिल्कुल criticism शुरू कर देना, it's a habit which should be curbed. To make this a press freedom issue is total nonsense.
Government hits back, says Rahul Gandhi should fix his habits, and to make a case of espionage of press freedom issue is unacceptable. The BJP is questioning Rahul on his foreign trip funding and support after his picture with an alleged Soros proxy goes viral. Wrestlers officially resume duties, but then come out and say the fight is not over. Is it a face saver as the wrestlers' protest ends? CBI takes over train collusion probe. Was there any sabotage in the tragedy? That's the top focus now. And the wife of Mamata Banerjee's nephew, Abhishek Banerjee, stopped at Kolkata airport and is summoned in the coal scam. Ladies and gentlemen, what do I say? All I can say is that Rahul Gandhi has done it again, and more than done it again. Most unfortunately, he has in Washington, D.C. built a case for a person accused of espionage, accused of trading India's defense secrets with foreign intelligence agencies. This and other reasons why this is becoming a matter of national security. Let's debate.
In Washington, it was a clear question on an espionage accused.
And let me ask you about press freedom, very important issue for us all. I should, full disclosure, my colleague, Vivek Raghuvanshi, was arrested several weeks ago and charged with, and accused of espionage. He's an Indian citizen. And what does that, he's been working for my company for more than 30 years and as a journalist. And I wanted to ask you what that says about the state of press freedom in India when someone, can be just accused of, even after, if someone with such a reputation can be accused in such a cavalier manner.
Instead of refusing to comment, Rahul Gandhi chimed in to undermine national security.
No, I think the fact that there is a weakening of press freedoms, this is not hidden. I mean, everybody knows it. It's apparent in India. The rest of the world can see it. And I think press freedom is very, very critical for a democracy. I mean, one should be open to criticism, and one should listen to criticism, and that's the feedback loop that builds democracies. And definitely, there is a weakening of press freedom. And it's not just press freedom; it's on multiple axes. On multiple axes, there is a clampdown on the institutional framework that allowed India to talk, that allowed the Indian people to negotiate.
Rahul Gandhi was not aware that Vivek Raghuvanshi is accused under Section 3 of the Official Secrets Act and 120B of the IPC by the CBI, and that material found from his possession is incriminating and suggests that he was trading information. The minutious detail of DRDO and other defense-related institutions that he had in his possession possibly indicate towards the likelihood of espionage being indulged in.
Rahul's support to an espionage accused goes beyond juvenile politics.
भारत के बाहर जाके ऑन विदेशी सॉइल जाके और बिल्कुल criticism शुरू कर देना, it's a habit which should be curbed. I mean, anybody breaking the law, he has to be dealt with under the law. To make this a press freedom issue is total nonsense.
Rahul Gandhi's mentor publicly ran down the Hindu faith during his US sojourn.
We have a problem with unemployment, inflation, education, health. No one talks about these things. But everyone talks about Ram, Hanuman, Mandir. And I have said that temples are not going to create jobs.
And this has been a pattern right from the beginning of this visit.
I think the Parliament House, these are distractions. The real issues in India are unemployment, price rise. These are the real issues. BJP can't really discuss them, so then they have to do the whole scepter thing. Lying down and doing all that. Aren't you happy I'm not lying down?
Influential thought leaders have demanded a white paper from the government on the elements that organized and participated in Rahul's event.
ये इनके ऐसे प्रायोजित कार्यक्रम हैं जो अभी भी अमेरिका गए हैं, इसकी फंडिंग पर भी कई लोग सवाल खड़ा कर रहे हैं.
Are Rahul Gandhi's statements deliberate, ignorant, or sponsored? Let's debate.
He, along with Mr. Gurumurthy, tweeted on this earlier today, and Mahesh Jethmalani, senior advocate and member of parliament of the BJP, joins me first. Mr. Jethmalani, before I go to the issue of questions being raised on the anti-India elements allegedly, who are involved in some way or the other with Rahul Gandhi's trip to the United States, is this issue of Rahul Gandhi supporting a spy who has been accused under the Official Secrets Act of leaking details of DRDO defense projects and their progress and sensitive details about the army with intelligence agencies of other countries. It is quite unbelievable that Rahul Gandhi has supported this individual when he spoke at the Washington Press Club and made it a freedom of press issue. Do you think he was not aware of the details as usual, or is it more than that?
Well, I mean, it's, the entire scenario, I mean, the question itself is surprising. I mean, who does it emanate from? He says he's a colleague. Raghuvanshi is the questioner's colleague, right? That itself should have put Rahul Gandhi on guard that, something is wrong about this. I take it, I mean, I can only guess right now that the gentleman who was asking the question belonged to that Defense News, an American publication in America pertaining to defense.
Yeah.
But that should have put Rahul Gandhi on guard. It is no answer to say that he was not aware about who Raghuvanshi was. I mean, and the questioner said that this was a cavalier arrest. What does it mean? He's casting aspersion on our agency. This is an Official Secrets Act matter. The agency will be extremely careful before they must have collected information for a long time prior to the registration of the FIR and the arrest. The entire thing is shocking. I can't believe that this even happened. And the response of Rahul Gandhi to the question, which in itself, as I said, was a shocker.
So this does amount to Rahul Gandhi supporting an alleged spy. This is as clear as that. So Rahul Gandhi of the Congress goes to America and supports an American defense publication and attacks his own country, India's DRDO, India's CBI, for arresting a person who has allegedly spied and given away Indian secrets to foreign intelligence agencies. And Rahul Gandhi actually goes and supports that individual and makes that person a martyr on American soil. I too also can't really believe this actually happened.
I mean, this man is totally immature. He should be banished from politics. This can't happen, that somebody who aspires to be the leader of this country is actually going and defending a spy of DRDO projects, advanced information, their future projects which they're going to execute. What is he doing? I mean, does he know the seriousness of the matter that was the subject matter of the FIR? Does he have such little faith in the CBI on an Official Secrets Act matter? And why should he be even responding? He should have said politely, look, it's pending investigation. I don't want to say anything. If he didn't know that there was a pending investigation, he can't just shoot his mouth off just because he's anti-Modi and anti-the
I think the appropriate question would have been, the appropriate question would have been, if Rahul Gandhi was smart, was to say, are you sure the individual concerned has not passed on any secrets to your country's intelligence agencies? But on the other hand, he says, how can your country, Mr. Gandhi, arrest my colleague in such a cavalier manner? And Rahul Gandhi's response, if he had any sense, would have been to say, how do you say it's cavalier? How do you attack my country's security apparatus? How do you question my country's right to defend itself on national security issues? But he gives it. He gives it and he says, yes, there's a big problem with Indian institutions. We are very bad, you are very good kind of approach. It's immature, but is it just immature? Is it just juvenile? Can we just pass it off as, typical Rahul Gandhiism?
This matter, and I'll tell you, Arnab, why this matter needs to be probed. This matter needs to be probed. My tweet already says that apart from the Raghuvanshi issue, the various different people who had organized these programs and the audiences you were addressing were all connected with jihadi organizations, ISI-funded organizations, all well-known. It requires, and Sam Pitroda, who was his mentor and organizer of most of these programs, needs to be questioned as to his choice of audiences. Are these the only people you could find for Rahul's USA outreach? Are these the only organization that Sam Pitroda found to be attractive enough for Rahul to address? But on this specific issue of Raghuvanshi, I'm not willing to believe that this was an innocent response and that Rahul didn't know about it. I believe that Rahul knew the entire episode. He knew what it was about. He knew that there was a leakage to foreign countries by Raghuvanshi and his associates of extremely sensitive defense secrets of India, and he had passed them on, and that's the reason why now Rahul Gandhi the family has already been involved in Augusta, in Bofors, and they were upset about Rafale because perhaps they weren't involved in the deal. So he has an interest in defense purchases. According to me, the Gandhi family is now lobbying for arms purchases for overseas brokers and overseas arms purchasers. I think we need to get to the bottom of this and find out whether this was just an innocent, stupid, ignorant, usual Rahul Gandhi remark, or whether he was actively, positively, with knowledge, defending Raghuvanshi.
Now, one quick question here. Both you and Mr. S. Gurumurthy have commented that there should be an investigation and disclosure into groups that have associated themselves with Rahul Gandhi's America visit. Now, could it be, and there have been articles to this, that there are some groups which are in turn linked to certain groups which are radical groups associated with Pakistan's Jamaat-e-Islami, groups which are individuals who are linked to the anti-India lobbying group Indian American Muslim Council, which lobbies against India and wants to declare India as an unsafe place for religious freedom, groups which are perennially anti-India. And could it be that the Congress does not know about these associations of these people or groups or people associated with these groups or organizations who are a known threat to India, or who have constantly lobbied against India, against their getting involved in sponsoring, supporting Rahul Gandhi's visit?
Arnab, I have no doubt that the Congress party, at least a good set, the people who are actually the closest advisors of Rahul Gandhi are aware of what is going on. One part of me, which is very difficult to believe, and people will say that I am a conspiracy theorist. One part of me says that the Congress is in such deep trouble, particularly the Gandhi family. Take the Gandhi family in the National Herald case, the Chidambarams in a slew of cases, right? They are desperate. Is it possible that perhaps they're now aligning themselves with foreign powers to save themselves from the inevitable fate of trial and jail that awaits them? Are they willing to go that far? Is that what is happening? How do you justify this kind of outreach with enemies of this country on a tour, highly publicized? Have they become that audacious? It certainly can't be a matter of coincidence that as I said, almost every audience of his and every venue was connected with an agency, the deep state in Pakistan, for instance, who are all inimical to India. What is he up to? And, this comes in the wake of something I've been talking about for a long time. And I think that somebody must sit up and take notice, right? There's been that MOU with the CCCP, signed in 2008. It is still not surfaced. I mean, what is there that we have been repeatedly saying that MOU, right, must contain something for the Congress to refuse to expose it, to put it out in the public domain.
Okay.
They're still not doing it. What is it? Is that an official secret of the Congress party? Are they claiming some right of privacy?
Okay.
When they enter into an agreement with the ruling party, which is the party and the state is identical in China?
Okay. Opening this up for debate, Mahesh Chetmalani, thanks very much for setting up the debate right now on that. And we have some well-known faces: Shehzad Ishkaran, Sushant, Gaurav, Lokesh, Kapil, Pankaj Sharma and Shyam Prasad Meka on the debate. It's getting very serious. My first question here is, Shehzad, the individual concerned Vivek Raghuvanshi, who gets Rahul Gandhi's support, is accused of sharing a whole lot of illegal collection of sensitive information about the Defense Research and Development Organization and the Army, and sharing it with intelligence agencies of other countries. I had to pinch myself, Sushant, to believe, Gaurav, to believe that Rahul Gandhi was supporting this person at an international forum. Shehzad, I really couldn't believe it till I saw the soundbite, and I said, yes, there was a very pointed question regarding him, which was asked by that American gentleman. Yes, please, Shehzad.
No, I am not surprised that once again Rahul Gandhi, in his sheer hatred for BJP and Prime Minister Modi, has put Rajniti above Rashtaniti. But what better do you expect from those who see G in Osama, Sahab in Hafiz Saeed, Beti in Ishrat, who said 26/11 was actually a Hindu-sponsored attack, those who blamed India for Samjhauta despite the overwhelming proof that was available, those who come out and defend Pakistan, whether it comes on the surgical strike narrative, Balakot, Pulwama. So why are you surprised? And Arnab, look at the excuse they used. Press freedom. Excuse me, this is the party that introduced the First Amendment and blocked the right to freedom of press under Article 19 during Nehru's years. They arrested Majru Sultanpuri. They are the ones who brought the draconian press bill, the Defamation Act. This is the government which actually arrested journalists. You remember how they tormented journalists. One particular journalist who is anchoring this show was tormented in Maharashtra, the manner in which cases were filed. They have put sedition against a journalist in Chhattisgarh for putting out a Facebook post. So this has nothing to do with press freedom. This has only got to do with Rahul Gandhi now siding with elements that are actually anti-India merely because he wants to offend or oppose the BJP. This is the level to which he has descended.
But why support a spy? Why support a person accused of spying in such a serious case? That's limited point we start with tonight. The case is serious. Can anyone on this, in their right mind on the program, defend supporting a person who is accused of such a serious case of espionage? Can you do that? Can anyone on the right-hand side defend Gaurav? I don't think anyone can.
He never supported.
Can I just come in?
Never supported.
With respect to
no, one minute. Who says he never supported?
He never supported.
Pankaj, what was the question regarding? Was it regarding Vivek Raghuvanshi?
Yes, he never supported.
Was the question regarding Vivek Raghuvanshi?
When did he support?
What was the question? What was the question?
What was the question? Did he support him? Rahul Gandhi never opposed the arrest of this particular person.
Of course he supported. One minute.
Rahul Gandhi never opposed the arrest of this particular person who is involved in the charges of espionage.
The question itself was regarding the arrest of the alleged spy. What are you talking about? Gaurav, you heard the question there. The question was regarding the arrest of the alleged spy.
His comments about the situation of press freedom in India.
No, the question was about Vivek Raghuvanshi, who has been arrested for spying against India. The question was about Vivek Raghuvanshi, and the response sought was to the arrest of Vivek Raghuvanshi, who has been arrested for stealing DRDO secrets.
That there is a weakening of press freedom in our country for the past few years.
I want to come in here.
I have to take the motive.
Some people have such inherent testimony against Rahul Gandhi that they have to castigate him for everything.
I just want to say, hold on, sir, hold on.
Sir,
hold on, sir. Hold on. Allow me to respond, sir. Allow me to respond. Since Rahul Gandhi wants to become the Prime Minister of the country and wants to be taken seriously, let us take him seriously. Why not? He's a big leader, he's a big name, let's take him seriously. This person from Defense News says that Vivek Raghuvanshi has been my colleague for 30 years. And he has been arrested in a cavalier manner. What do you have to say about it? And Rahul Gandhi says, of course, this points to the lack of freedom of press in India. Can you please describe what Rahul Gandhi just said? Can you explain?
Vivek
Raghuvanshi's name was taken. Sir, allow me to complete, sir. Sir, allow me to complete, sir.
Can I make a very quick response,
sir? Sir, just a minute. I have not finished asking, sir. Kindly hold on, sir.
No connection or reaction on any
please hold on.
specific arrest.
Sir, that means, see, if you say that Rahul Gandhi, somebody asks Rahul Gandhi one question and he answers something else, somebody is saying, come to London, he says, okay, I'll go to Tokyo, then you're not taking your own leader seriously, sir. Vivek Raghuvanshi's name was taken in the question.
Now, Gaurav,
Vivek Raghuvanshi's name was taken. And he said, this points to the lack of freedom of press in India.
No, the question is very specific. I'll get Ishkaran also.
Arya,
no, one minute. Kapil, the question is very specific. 1 minute. Here's the situation. I want to repeat the situation here. Just wait a minute, Kapil. I'll explain the situation. Here's the situation. Rahul Gandhi goes to the Washington Press Club. Okay? And there is a person who stands up and he says that I want to speak to you about a specific case. The specific case is of, and he says that I am associated with Sightline or one group, which is basically a group that publishes defense news. It's an American publication. And this gentleman who's been arrested, Vivek Raghuvanshi, works admittedly, self-admittedly as the India bureau chief of the same defense publication. Yes. This individual has a right to report. Question being, he is not only accused of collecting sensitive information regarding DRDO, but working together with a former Navy commander to collect this information and share such information with intelligence agencies of other countries. If you're getting information and you're writing a paper, you're writing an article, I can understand. But the very specific charge has been said that after searches at 12 locations of the premises of the accused in Delhi, UP, Haryana and Jaipur in connection with this specific case of giving information to foreign countries and sharing the information with the intel agencies of foreign countries, the CBI has registered this case under the Official Secrets Act. Now, there is no angle here of political prejudice. The individual is not a Congress leader accused of spying. The individual is a quote-unquote journalist accused of spying. Now, if whatever be the case, this is an ongoing case of espionage. A person with a vested interest, namely a colleague of this person accused of spying, stands up in America and says, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, my colleague is accused of spying. Your country doesn't know how to handle things. It's a cavalier country. Your agencies don't know how to work. You know, you should be embarrassed about it. It does things in a cavalier manner. And Rahul Gandhi says, yes, I agree. I agree with you. My country's institutions are falling apart. And there is a whole clampdown on the institutional framework. Is spying part of the institutional framework? Are you out of your mind? Is spying a fundamental right? You have to draw your limits. No, I'm sorry. Rahul Gandhi has therefore supported an alleged spy on American soil.
No,
he has supported an alleged spy on American soil. Could he not have said, how dare you make such conclusions about my country? It is my country. It is my country's defense and research organization. It is my country's investigating agency. How can you attack my country's institutions in this manner? But no.
What is the state of press in India? Arnab, you are a judge.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. If any person of the press is sharing information with the intelligence agencies of foreign countries, it does not amount to journalism. Ishkaran is on the debate.
Isn't Rahul Gandhi right when he says that
Arnab has two short points, Arnab. It's a question to me. Please let me answer. It's a question to me. You can come, Arnab. Just let me, two short points I want to make.
One minute. Ishkaran, there's a big debate.
Who can oppose this?
Thank you. It's a very serious debate. Of course it's a serious debate. Of course it's a serious debate.
Arnab, it was a point-blank question about an alleged spy by his colleague to Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi would have been well advised to take the ancient advice. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear to be a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubts. All doubts have been removed. Either it is foolishness or it is way worse. And why do I say it's way worse? Point number one in this case, this person is not a political leader, he's a so-called journalist. If he's been arrested by an investigative agency and I saw nothing coming from BJP saying that he's a Congress member, that you needed to defend him. So what you're effectively doing is you are attacking CBI, you are attacking our military intelligence, you are attacking the institutional framework of India like a Naxal in which you believe every action of every institution is wrong. You say this in Washington, where it's standard of free press. We know what happened to Edward Snowden. We know what happened to Julian Assange.
Rahul Gandhi could have said, he could have said.
One more point. When you talk about freedom of speech, there are allegations of your signing a document with China, with CCP. You don't publicize it. There are allegations of funds from proxies coming into trusts and NGOs controlled by Congress. You don't give a disclosure on that. But you defend a person who is not even a congressman. At least as far as I know, he is not a congressman. But you still defend.
One minute. Here's a point. Suppose. No. It's a considered thought. Ishkaran, let's get Sushant in, and I'll tell you this. It's a very considered view. There is a serious case in India, and there is a narrative Rahul Gandhi wants to set. He's asked a question that, your country has accused a person of espionage. How terrible, how cavalier, how bad, how terrible. And Rahul Gandhi's response should have been, I am not aware, I will find out, but I disagree with your generalizations about my country's national security apparatus. The Americans would have respected him for that. Unfortunately, Rahul Gandhi either is immaturity or childishness or malice. I'm not saying either or all, or a combination of all of it. Went and said, yes, you know, India is collapsing. There is a clampdown.
Freedom index is deteriorating. Why do you expect Rahul Gandhi to support the government for the press freedom?
This is not a question of press freedom.
Tell me. No. Internationally, everywhere we are being accused of
this is to the limit.
Doing away with press freedom.
This is not a question of press freedom.
Democracy. It was about press freedom.
It is not a case sharing intelligence information. You can get information and publish an article. You cannot share it with intelligence agencies of other countries.
He is not into investigation.
I don't know. I mean, I give up.
He doesn't know whether the fact
Sushant is on the debate.
The fact is yet to be established.
Sushant is on the
I think it's max of Arnab, it's max of deep insecurity, inferiority, and utter brainlessness to use that freedom index of media and diss your own country like Mr. Jindal is doing. That same index puts Afghanistan above India, and it puts Pakistan above India. I hope Mr. Jindal understands what is happening in Pakistan right now and how political leaders are being put in and their software is being updated by the military. And the press is entirely quiet. Now, if he thinks that is better freedom than what is happening in India, he's welcome to go to Pakistan like many of people of his party would like to do. But having said that, to come to the substantial point, Arnab, so here is the... No, shut up, yaar, international lagaya hua hai. Tum kaun se bade international ho? Sun lo jara ek minute. So Arnab, here is the thing, you know, it is not just parting information to a foreign agency. It's even selling commercial information. For example, you would remember that I think it was in 2014, maybe 2015, when about 6 or 7 journalists were arrested, so-called journalists, because they were trading in information on the oil sector.
Yes.
Right? And what these guys were doing they were using their access to the ministries and they were selling that information to oil majors who were then making a big profit out of this information. This was classified information. Ideally, the officials who were sharing that information should also have been sacked. That didn't happen. A couple of, I think last year or year before last, another journalist was caught because he was found to be selling information to the Chinese. Now another journalist has been caught. Obviously, I don't have all the details with me, but there must have been adequate reason. Now, whether he was selling information to a agency, foreign agency, or he was selling information, classified information to one of the defense behemoths in the US or wherever else in the world, that is not journalism. That is spying. That is espionage. Right? It's as simple as that. There are no two ways to define it. Such people are arrested anywhere in the world and put through the mill. That has to happen. If you don't do it, and maybe the Congress culture was that these kind of people should be allowed to do what they are doing because there is nothing to hide.
I tell you, maybe, one minute. I have a point to make here.
Here is the thing.
Sushant,
journalists use their access and many journalists are turned around, do exchange information, do sell that information and make money out of it. And that is not journalism. It is as simple as that. If Mr. Raghuvanshi was involved in something like that, then you have to throw the book at him.
No, 1 minute.
I question the Indian action is rather disingenuous, to say the least.
I have a point here to make, and Shyam, I'll tell you this. You see, a question is asked to Rahul Gandhi. If Rahul was a mature man, and the question here is a very big if. The question would be, if Rahul was a mature man or a mature individual rather, okay, so if Rahul was an intellectually accomplished or competent individual, or if Rahul was not intellectually innocent, then the question would have been, allow me. Allow me, Lokesh. Lokesh, you're not going to get your Rajya Sabha ticket like this. Now my question is, here being like this. No, I'm not listening to you. I am not listening to you. I'm asking Shyam Meka right now. If a foreign national comes and says that I work for this defense publication and my colleague has been arrested for trading India's national security, and you are a terrible country, you don't know anything, you don't have any institutional framework, and how dare you do that, then the mature answer would have been, Shehzad, perhaps to say that, Mr. American, you are a foreign national and an interested party, and your question smacks of prejudice. I will constantly stand for every aspect related to my country's national security, and you should not be making subjective statements such as cavalier, etc. And you may be well advised as an American to check how many times American citizens have been arrested on American soil for spying against America, and kindly tell me how kind and what kid gloves or velvet gloves your country used with them from Roosevelt to now. But the problem is America, you see, Rahul can't articulate things like that. So my question is as simple as that. What are they doing to Edward Snowden is another issue. He could have, let me get it to Mr. Meka. Why couldn't he say that? Why did he have to use that occasion to attack India? Why, Mr. Meka? Why?
Arnab, can you?
How can you support a spy on foreign soil?
Very simple thing is, what we need to understand is Rahul Gandhi never commented on the merits of the case.
Of course he did. The question was on the merits of the case.
No, wait a minute. Now, in the same way, you are asking me before and
to Mr. Raghuvanshi.
You are questioning me. Hold on, Shehzad, hold on. You are asking me by loading your all.
First of all, let's get our facts right. There are no two separate set of facts. There is one set of facts.
This is not right.
Where Rahul Gandhi
let me
assumed the powers of a court.
Come on, guys, hold on.
And
this is a nice try.
Mr. Raghuvanshi, who, by the way, is not just a spy, but I think he's an anti-national. He's a traitor. He's a gaddar. Rahul Gandhi did exactly that. Secondly, Mr. Meka, this is what I call, now Mr. Meka, you have to calm down. I call this the Rana Ayubization of Rahul Gandhi. Rana Ayubization of Rahul Gandhi. This Rana Ayubization is not innocent. This Rana Ayubization is not a remark. It is devious.
1 minute. What should I stop?
You need to stop this.
What should I stop? Should I stop the responses? Should I stop people calling in on my program? Should I stop the tweets on my Motorola? What should I do? What should I stop?
Come on, stop doing this.
Okay, Mr. Meka, go on.
Stop peddling lies.
Mr. Meka, your leader has been asked a question about a spy and has defended the American position. Okay, Mr. Meka, go on. Mr. Meka and Gaurav.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Meka first, Mr. Meka, Gaurav after that. Mr. Meka versus Gaurav.
To everybody.
Only 1 versus 1, please. Thank you.
Arnab, I'd like to make a point here very quickly. And this is what I'm repeating, and Mr. Speaker, then take it forward, sir. I have a question. My question to you is this, sir. You are saying that Rahul Gandhi did not say whatever Arnab Goswami is accusing him of, that he supported the spy. Let us assume he did not say that, sir. What was the question? You heard the question, I heard the question, Arnab heard the question, Rahul Gandhi heard the question. And the question was that this gentleman from this defense news company, he says, Vivek Raghuvanshi has been my colleague for 30 years. And I know him for 30 years. And you have arrested a man. What do you have to say about it? Or words to that effect. Rahul Gandhi says this points. He's answering this person's question and he's saying this points towards the lack of freedom of press in India. And you are saying Rahul Gandhi is not answering the question. Either Rahul Gandhi does not understand the question or does not understand anything at all. Either there is lack of understanding or Rahul Gandhi, either he's complicit or he's clueless. Now you tell me which one you choose, sir.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I will take an example out of what you just spoke. Similarly, journalists will do loaded questions, just like you did just now. You are saying either Rahul Gandhi is innocent or anti-national. So you loaded the question. I'm sidestepping that.
Innocent or anti-national, I didn't say that.
Listen to me. That's the diatribe.
Complicit
that's the diatribe. That's the diatribe that is happening for the last 40 minutes. Listen to me for 40 seconds. Rahul Gandhi very nicely sidestepped that question and
how is it
happily
sidestepping? No, he
continued
did not
with his
sidestep the
own
question. Shehzad,
He did.
no, he didn't
He did
sidestep
not
it. He used
speak
it.
about-
He used the question
did
to
not-
attack
he
the
did not-
absence
he
of an
did not speak
institutional
about-
framework in India. Shehzad will respond to you.
Yes.
He did not
He did
sidestep
not-
it.
He did
He
not
used the
speak about
question.
the
I'm
merits
sorry,
of
he
the
didn't
case.
sidestep it.
Arnab, 1 second. I have a very important counter. Arnab, I have a very important point to make. Arnab, tomorrow, will they say Dawood Ibrahim is a product of Islamophobic activities of India? Yaqub Memon was hanged because it was an Islamophobic decision. I mean, what extent will they go to? You giving this Raghuvanshi fellow the ambit of the press freedom is like you extending an Islamophobic narrative to Afzal Guru and Yaqub Memon.
Who are they?
Going on? And where was Rahul Gandhi the Great when Arnab was being hounded? Where was
Who are they?
Where was
Are we
Rahul
not
Gandhi the Great
Indians?
when a journalist from Chhattisgarh
You think
was
you are
thrown
the
in
only
jail
Indian?
for posting a Facebook post? Where was Rahul Gandhi?
You are
when
the only Indian.
anti-defamation bill was brought by his government?
Oh,
Where was
come
Rahul
on.
Gandhi when the media was being hounded by his government?
My other question
You
now,
are talking
please,
about press
is
freedom,
very
sir?
pointed.
It is better for the Satan to preach scriptures than Rahul Gandhi to talk about
Okay,
press
this is a
freedom.
nice
Please.
try, very well enacted, and people are seeing through these charades.
This is not a nice try. This
Don't
is
worry.
a reality, Mr.
Nice
Mehta.
try.
Please
Continue
wake
doing
up.
this.
Please wake
Continue
up.
doing this.
Tomorrow you might say Dawood Ibrahim
No, my,
को प्रताड़ित किया जा रहा है वो मुसलमान है इसलिए.
Are
Please
there
stop
any
giving
links?
This kind of lame excuses.
Are there
Please.
any links, Lokesh? And very specific pointed question, Ishkaran, you may have heard. There have been some allegations that people associated with, who have links in turn to Pakistan's Jamaat-e-Islami, groups which have links to Pakistan's Jamaat-e-Islami, individuals who have links to the Indian American Muslim Council, which is an anti-India lobbying group, have been associated in some way or the other quite directly with Mr. Rahul Gandhi's visit.
There are 2 points of this visit which are equally important. Point
on
number
this,
one.
I would like to ask
one
this.
second.
It's a serious
Just 2
allegation.
points which are very important.
Let me reply.
Point number one, where it's a question to me, you can come after that. Otherwise, we can both speak. Arnab, point number one, where you go out and try to show Muslim League as a secular political party. Second, you go and say spying is somehow covered under freedom of speech. That's like saying selling drugs is covered under Article 19(1)(g), right to do profession or business. There is no correlation between the two. But the fact that in a case where a congressman is not accused, where a journalist is accused, you need to do this is two possibilities.
Can I reply?
I now do not know what are the
After
links of that
Lokesh Kapil will
journalist.
come. Okay, now, Ishkaran, I just would like to ask here that are there any links, is there any truth to the allegations that Rahul Gandhi met certain people associated with the Indian American Muslim Council, which is the group which is lobbying against India consistently and holding extensive anti-India protests? And if this is true, is this not a serious matter? Mr. Madan, would you like to give your take on that? I think it's a very serious matter.
I will give a response to
But you
each
can't
of
dodge the
panelists here.
question.
And I think,
You
I'm
can't
not
dodge
dodging
it.
the question, and allow me to respond. I will respond. Now, irony has died 1,000 dead today. Shehzad here is talking about espionage, spy. I mean, he's the same guy, same party who has made, a person who's facing a terror charge as an MP. And they will continuously and shamelessly
Answer the
defend
question.
those people to say that the trial is pending, he's not guilty, the process will take its own
Are
course.
there any
It is the
people
same
who
party.
Rahul Gandhi has
It
been
is the same.
associated with on this trip who work against Indian
are
interests?
you a BJP spokesperson?
Who work
do you
against
want to
Indian
assume the
interests?
role of-
My question is, Kapil, don't get worked up. My question being very specifically, are there any links of such individuals?
People are getting your drift.
Are there any such individuals associated with anti-India activity who have been associated with this trip? I am asking the question here, and I'm asking it again. I'm asking it a second and third time. Can everybody be on, please? Why don't try and avoid the question? Are there any individuals associated with Pakistan's Jamaat-e-Islami directly or indirectly, or the anti-India group Indian American Muslim Council, who have been associated with this trip, or have been supportive of this trip?
Arnab is the party that doesn't dispute that they use Pegasus and the spy software. So I will leave it to Shehzad to say, because Shehzad would have access to everyone's phone and, their data. So I think Shehzad can tell because
You
it is
dodged
the
it.
government
If
that
someone
does not
paid me
dispute
to have access
that
to
they
your
don't
phone,
use
I would
Pegasus.
refuse it.
So the
Kapil,
point,
I would
so the
refuse
point
to have
is,
access to your
so
phone even if I was paid for it.
No, that's
Please
all right.
understand.
That's
You
all
and
right,
Rahul
Shehzad.
Gandhi are perhaps
It's
the
not
most
about
irrelevant
me.
entities.
I don't
So
give
even
any
if somebody
importance to
paid
me.
me, I
I am
wouldn't
no
have
one.
access to it.
I am no one. I am no one, Shehzad.
No,
Why would
I
you have
understand
my
that. I'm
phone?
just reminding
I
you of
would
your
say don't
irrelevance.
waste time. Don't waste your
No,
own time.
I'm
You won't find
reminding you of
anything.
your
So
staunch irrelevance, you and your leaders' irrelevance. So don't worry, we are not interested in your phones anyways. I don't know what kind of proof there. But having said that, let me come to the debate. Do you think,
we are
Kapil, do
debating
you
on
think
espionage,
that selling the nation's secrets are covered under press
and it is
freedom?
the same party,
Since you're a lawyer of some
ironically,
stature or repute, I think you practice in one of the municipal courts.
Admittedly,
Can you please
don't
tell
dispute
me?
it.
Can you please tell me
They don't
if this is
dispute it.
covered under
Now,
press
another
freedom?
point. The point is, now Shehzad can come point blank and say whether the government uses Pegasus or not.
Okay, Shehzad.
And
then I'll take
whether,
you practice in a district court.
Uses Pegasus or not.
I am told, Arnab, that he practices in some sort of a district court. So I'm asking him whether it is covered under press freedom to sell the nation's secrets.
There are tribunals which are not court. I go
You
there.
don't
So,
practice
you
there.
forget me. Forget me. Perhaps if you are
Whichever
using
court
spy,
you practice
perhaps
in,
your
maybe
spy
you
is
practice
also
in the
not
Darbar of
working.
Rahul
Like
Gandhi.
the government.
That may
like
be
the government.
that's
like the
not
government is
relevant to
not
the issue.
efficient.
The issue
So
is it covered under press
your
freedom to
espionage is
sell
not
the nation's secrets under the
you're not
Official
getting proper
Secrets Act?
details. So you're not getting proper details. You check the data.
Okay, Nimesh Shah says Rahul is now Rana Ayub duplicate spreading lies to defame India. Okay, we've got Sham Kumar Saini says, is the country more important or to defend the follies of such so-called leaders? Funny Santosh says Congress need not dig their grave, Rahul Gandhi does it for them. Arun Shastri says, how long will this foolish act of RG be tolerated? Swaminathan S says Rahul has become the biggest threat to India with his anti-India statements abroad. And I think somewhere Lokesh, somewhere you all got to think, Mr. Mika, maybe Rahul should have really avoided this, but use every statement, including a question on espionage, to make a political point against your country. It's really
It
sad.
also depends upon how you perceive every statement that is made by Rahul Gandhi. Once you have made up your mind to perceive every statement negatively,
and
we cannot help it.
I want to know how I should look at this statement positively. I want to know from you, Lokesh, how should I look at the statement? How should I look at the statement of supporting an espionage accused positively?
Democracy. Tell me one thing, where is he wrong? Internationally, everywhere India is being criticized for the treatment to its minority. Where is
the minority angle to an espionage issue? How is there a minority angle to an espionage issue?
To come and defend the government, to come and defend the government's policy.
You know it, Arnab. पाए को पकड़ा गया है, उसके अंदर डेमोक्रेसी, फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच क्या क्या ले आए हो भैया?
आप लोग पकड़े गए हैं भाई।
अर्नब, मुझे
आप लोग पकड़े गए हैं।
No freedom to spy. We have today to discuss no freedom to spy because there are people defending spying as a freedom of speech.
Every statement that is uttered can be perceived in a positive or negative way. He has simply shown the mirror to you.
Trending tonight, no freedom to spy. I think this was an avoidable comment. It was a completely and totally avoidable comment. Completely and totally avoidable comment, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't believe, I truly cannot believe that somebody made a comment like that. But well, whether we like it or not, this has happened. This is what I call actively undermining your own country's national security. Now, I know that there was a lot of politics over the wrestlers' protest, but now it's been called off, effectively called off. And I really hope all the politicians who thought they could milk this issue just stay away now. We've had too much politics on sport. If some people have enjoyed it, good for them. Now they must draw the line in a few minutes.
The top-ranked Amity BTech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India who get global exposure at the 5-week study abroad program at Amity's global campuses at no additional tuition fee. To apply, visit amity.edu.
The death toll has now gone up to 288, that's the official toll. And when asked what went wrong, one of the first outcomes of the initial investigation has revealed that the Kavach system was not available on this particular route. The investigation is on, and the Prime Minister himself has said that they will go through the full details and the complete investigation and hold those responsible and ensure that they're punished. Number 1 on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on digital this July.
For 6 years, you've trusted Republic TV with breaking news, views and debates. For the very first time, we're bringing number 1 news brand on digital. Stay tuned for Republic Digital this July.
Republic TV has been number 1 for the last 6 years. We've reported some of the biggest stories that matter. We have changed the face of Indian television journalism, and now we are about to do the same on digital. Republic on digital this July. One aspect certainly is about to ensure, restoring the main lines, because for the Southeastern Railway, these lines turns out to be very crucial, because otherwise what you're seeing is that on multiple occasions they have had to cancel or divert the trains. 9 NDRF teams are already working, they're operating. There could be a possibility of more NDRF teams brought in. Apart from the NDRF is that the Orissa government has also pressed into action their disaster relief teams, the ODRF. They're already operating here.
Republic has been number 1 for the past 6 years. We've broken the biggest stories and reported from where it mattered most. We've disrupted the broadcast news media from India. And now we are coming to digital. Republic on digital this July.
Republic has been number 1 for the last 6 years. And in these 6 years, you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us. And we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda. And now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on digital this July.
The death toll has now gone up to 288, that's the official toll. And when asked what went wrong, one of the first outcomes of the initial investigation has revealed that the Kavach system was not available on this particular route. The investigation is on, and the Prime Minister...
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
A protest for over a month, a medal immersion threat, and now, weeks later, the wrestlers have stepped back. One of them has resumed their job at the railways. The protest has ended. And will the politics end as well? Debate at 10 PM with Arnab.
The top-ranked Amity BTech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India who get global exposure at the 5-week study abroad program at Amity's global campuses at no additional tuition fee.
To apply, visit amity.edu.
Republic has been number 1 for the last 6 years. And in these 6 years, you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us. And we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda. And now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on digital this July.
The death toll has now gone up to 288, that's the official toll. And when asked what went wrong, one of the first outcomes of the initial investigation has revealed that the Kavach system was not available on this particular route. The investigation is on, and the Prime Minister himself has said that they will go through the full details and the complete investigation and hold those responsible and ensure that they're punished.
#1 on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on digital this July.
For 6 years, you've trusted Republic TV with breaking news, views and debates. For the very first time, we're bringing #1 news brand on digital. Stay tuned for Republic Digital this July.
Republic TV has been #1 for the last 6 years. We've reported some of the biggest stories that matter. We have changed the face of Indian television journalism, and now we are about to do the same on digital. Republic on digital this July. One aspect certainly is about to ensure, restoring the main lines, because for the Southeastern Railway, these lines turns out to be very crucial, because otherwise what you're seeing is that on multiple occasions they have had to cancel or divert the trains. 9 NDRF teams are already working, they're operating. There could be a possibility of more NDRF teams brought in. Apart from the NDRF is that the Orissa government has also pressed into action their disaster relief teams, the ODRF. They're already operating here.
Republic has been #1 for the past 6 years. We've broken the biggest stories and reported from where it mattered most. We've disrupted the broadcast news media from India. And now we are coming to digital. Republic on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 for the last 6 years. And in these 6 years, you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us. And we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda. And now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on digital.